I don't think this game has an intro for it. You know, it deserves an intro. Like, fighting mermaids, fighting mermaids, fighting mermaids, battle it out, fighting mermaids. Barry, we're here to talk about the game MerFight. MerFight is a game that was released, I can't remember when it was released. Let me double check to make sure I'm not lying to you about the release date of this game. The game was released February 12th, 2024. So that was just last year, almost this time last year, that it was released. Not a lot of people are playing this game. It just kind of is what it is. But I just thought it was interesting to jump on a game like this while we are settling with where we stand with Tekken 8 in the state that it's in right now. And I figured that, hey, here goes a game that we can rate and talk about as we are taking a break from Tekken 8. So let's jump in here and talk about MerFight. Curse of the Arctic Prince. Did I say that right? Let's talk about MerFight, Curse of the Arctic Prince. Say it one more time. MerFight, Curse of the Arctic Prince. There we go. MerFight is a game that I think deserves a little bit more attention. But the reason why it's not getting the attention that it deserves is because it's flawed in a couple areas. And the areas that it's flawed in is just the very simple stuff, right? No different than when we're talking about Pocket Bravery. It doesn't have certain things, and same thing with Blazing Strike. There's certain things that it doesn't have that can really push it over the edge and making it a viable fighting game. Something as simple as having a game intro. It's a 0. It does not have an intro, and it probably should. So it kind of really introduced you to the game. I don't understand what's going on. There's nothing that's been introduced to me. So I'm gonna have to give that a 0. Like picking it up, it's like, oh, we got a bunch of mermaids that are fighting. Like, who's the hero here? You don't really know. On the character select screen, I guess it's okay. It's really not that great. They could have done a whole lot with this character select screen, like a whole lot. I mean, you're mermaids. You could have ships and all sorts of designs within this character select screen. You could have been really creative, but they didn't do that. So I'm gonna have to give that a 10. It does allow you to see what your character is before you select it. So I gotta give them the props on that, but character viability, there are quite a few characters in this game. What 9, 10, something like that. There are a lot of characters in this game, but they generally have a very similar moveset, which is that quarter circle, you know, DP motion. So it's generally okay. I'm gonna have to give that a 14. But then again, each one of these characters do look different, and they're not necessarily a palette swap. So I think I'm willing to give it a 16. Same thing with the character design, right? I think that's where that more specifically comes into. I'm gonna have to give that one a very high, not very high, but I'm gonna do 14 because each one of these characters look different. So let's go back to character viability and how you use them, you know, because like they all feel the same. So I think it's more of a 15 than it is a 16. Yeah, I think that's fair. So character design, going with the viability. It's not a bunch of palette swaps that are just like Ken and Ryu, Akuma, Sakura, Dan, and anybody that's a Shoto. It's not that bad. The characters at least look different, but they still have a very similar moveset, right? Game mechanics. This is a very easy game to get into. It's nothing to write home to. It's just boom, here goes a fighting game that plays similar to a Guilty Gear, a KOF, a Street Fighter. And then for the Super, you don't have to churn butter. You just have to hit 2 buttons and do a quarter circle motion. It's very simple to do combos. I like it. I like it for the most part. I'm gonna give this a 23. I think that's no, 22. I think that's fair. Game design in general is very bland. There's a lot of blue. I get it that you're in the ocean, but there's other things that are there that can make the game look better and more desirable. So I'm gonna have to give that maybe 11. overall. They definitely could have done better. Like I was saying earlier, they could have had a ship or something that they were on, or more scenery that goes along with the game. They just didn't do that. Character customization is optional. I'm gonna give it a 5 because, no, wait, hold on. They have other character options, like you can be an anglerfish as your character option, and other different things that are there. You have to acquire them in treasure battles and story mode. So I'm gonna give that a, let's go with the 7. It's nothing to write home to, but it's noticeable. It's not just a palette swap. Music, that's gonna be low, 9. It's very generic. I'm pretty sure they put some effort into it, but they could have had a little bit more aggressive sounding music when it came to underwater battles, right? But it sounds very generic. Hey, we got this off of YouTube, copyright-free underwater music type sounds, and I'm not really liking that. Outro and game endings, they do have that. I'm gonna give that a 12. I didn't feel like finishing up story mode because it was just that uninteresting. Luckily enough for us, it's extra credit for this game, not actually something that you put into it. But I didn't want to finish it. I had no desire to finish the story mode, so I don't necessarily know what that game ending is. But if it's based off of anything that we saw with the story that was like literally had no sound and just had little words come across, and it didn't even go, it didn't even do that. It's just not good. And then when you just do regular arcade mode, it's just congratulations and gives you a grade and shows you how quick you beat the game. But outside of that, there's nothing else that goes along with it. So I'm gonna say, because I know there's something there, I'm gonna give it something, but I think it's more along the lines of an 8. I'm pretty sure if I stuck with it, again, I have no faith in that part right there. Replay value, I think there's some, but you have to have friends to play along with you. I'm gonna give that a 13. Overall look and feel, again, this is a game that has a lot of potential. This has a lot of potential. 27. I'm being generous with that one because all of it coming together is what makes the game the game. But it has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential. Additional gameplays and mode. This is where I'm going to give it a lot of stuff. It has a story mode. It has a tutorial. It has training. It has treasure battles. What else does it have? It has lessons. And then it has challenges. There's a lot to do in this game. Not enough to say, hey, it's going to add more to the replay value there, but there is something. I will give it that. Story, like I said, it wasn't that great. So I'm going to give it a, because there was one there, sure, but it wasn't anything great. I'm going to give it a 3 because it looks like there's a lot of story. Like each character has its own story. I don't want to do that. Maybe for the sake of getting achievements, I'll do it, but no, I don't think this is something that people are going to revisit anytime soon. Online gameplay, it's absent because nobody's playing this game. So I'm not gonna be a complete jerk and say it gets 0. It's just nobody's playing it, so I don't get to see what the netcode is. 5. That's half of it. Was it good for its time? 0, because this is a more modern game. 2024. There's a lot of good games that have come out within the last couple of years, and it can't compete with some of the things that are going on. So let's see what this grade is. I'm a little nervous about what the grade. A D plus. A D plus. I think that's kind of to my point. Like, hold on. Let me see what area. Let's take the area like. Let's take an area like game. Something as simple as the intro. If the intro got if the intro got a 10, that's just half the points there. Got a 10, it would have been a C. The intro killed it, right? Let's put a 20 for the intro, see what happens. It got a C plus. If it had an intro, because I think the intros are really important, right? It tells you what the game's about. It tells you what the game's about. It would have got a better grade. But a D plus for a game like this, I really don't think it's that bad. It could be a lot worse. It could have got an F. This game is playable. I'll say that this game is very playable. It's very manageable. There's nothing to write home to, but you can play it just for a change of pace at least, just to do something decent and different. So you're not playing Tekken 8 all day long. Just go over there and get some achievements. That's what this game is for. Just get all 45 of those achievements real quick, and then move on to the next one. If it's over $20, don't buy it. What do you guys think of MerFight? Do you think this is a game that you're going to pick up? Do you think this is a game that might be worth your while? Let me know in the comments below if you're a subject matter expert at MerFight. Or for that matter, you know a guy that's pretty good at it that has a different opinion or a different thought about this game that we just rated right here. I'm the most determined soul, CJ Berry. Success and victory don't block with your face, and I'll see you on the next time. Peace out.